When I have a son, I'm going to teach them this one physics principle. It's called momentum. It's the superpower of the people who end up becoming rich, fit, people who become super in love. And in this video, I'm going to show you how small daily actions can make a massive difference. This is just my experience, so take it for what it is. I'm no expert, I'm no, filthy deca millionaire or anything like that. I'm just some guy that has been through some shit, and this is how I deal with it. So momentum is fed by every action you take or decide not to take. It's like if you had a wagon on top of a hill and you just like nudged it a little bit. You wouldn't really have to push it very hard for it to then come careening, just screaming down the hill with incredible force, being so hard to stop. And it's not because you're strong, it's because you used momentum. Every day you wake up and let's say you spend 30 minutes scrolling through your phone. I know I've done it a bunch of times. Well, congratulations, you just gained momentum. It's the same momentum that's probably tugging on you right now to open another tab, check your phone, or just really do something else. I call that momentum negative momentum because it doesn't help you achieve your life's vision faster. And negative momentum is like interacting with like a demon out of like The Conjuring. Now, performing the act itself, like a Ouija board or something like that in those movies, performing the act is actually what invites it in. And it'll subtly start trying to fuck with you, just like those movies. Not maybe moving objects around on you, but it'll start just whispering to you about picking up your phone. It could be, watching porn. It could be smoking weed. It could be any one of these little acts. It's just gonna be like, maybe we should do it. It's gonna keep doing that until you either kill it, exercise it out, or it completely breaks you and it possesses you. Now you just lose time scrolling on your phone. I'll give you an example. If you tell yourself, right? If you tell yourself, I'm gonna get that done today. And then at the end of the day, you lay your sweet head down on the pillow and you're like, bing. You start to feel anxious, don't you? Especially when you didn't do it. And you're gonna be way more awake than you should have been. Like you just chugged 3 espressos or something. Like your heart's gonna start beating fast. And it's gonna feel like you forgot something, doesn't it? This is exactly what I felt. And it's because your brain is telling you you forgot something. Like, hey, you said you had something super important to do and we didn't do it today. We gotta get that done before we go to bed. Otherwise, you're not gonna hit your goal. Now your brain is like, oh, we can't trust when you say you're gonna do something, you don't do it all the time. That's when the demon really gains power over you. It like feeds off that. It's like, yes, push it to tomorrow. And the more you do that, the more your brain is going to think you're full of shit. It's gonna ruin your self-confidence. You're not gonna be able to think you can do it, and it's gonna ruin your self-trust. It's almost like when you have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they're like, I love you, baby. You find out from a friend that they've been like texting like 3 other dudes, flirting with them. They were caught like holding hands with this other guy down the park, and you're like, what the? Bitch, you don't love me? This happened to me. Basically, at one point in my life, everything felt like it came crashing down. And the core of my problem was that exact demon. I just kept feeding it slowly over time until it just felt like it controlled my entire life. And I just didn't do what I said I would do every day. I lied to myself every day is really what I did. And by not taking action like I said I would, it just rocked my self-confidence. I believed I couldn't do anything anymore. I felt like I wasn't worthy of anything. I had no good ideas. I couldn't make progress. I never got lucky. All this negative shit started happening. But one day, I picked the easiest possible goal. I was like, if I could just do this, I'll win. Just to build my self-trust back, my self-confidence. So I decided I'd pick up sticks in the yard. At my parents' house, they have this tree line. So like trees around the property. And I was like, what if I just picked up the sticks? What if I just did that? If I did that by the end of summer, so 4 months, I win. So what I would do is I would just pick up sticks 10 minutes a day. I'd have my morning coffee, sun is shining, pick up sticks, the weather is sweet, yay. Like I'd do shit like that. And what ended up happening was that I started feeling more confident. I started gaining momentum. Now, I want to define momentum here for you because I've been talking about it a lot. And basically the definition of momentum is the strength or force gained by motion or a series of events. It's neutral. It's a neutral force. It just happens when you have motion, right? So strength is the ability to withstand great force or pressure. That's kind of like that quote in Spider-Man, you know, or with great power comes great responsibility from Uncle Ben. It's kind of like that because it allows you to wield a lot of power in the sense of your self-discipline. You can get a lot of things done. You can handle your shit, but you have to be responsible with it. Now, motion is just the daily actions you take, whether you're like, I'm gonna brush my teeth today, or you decide to take the action of not brushing your teeth. Either way, that's an action. And the series of events, I view those as things you cannot control, because things you cannot control could affect your momentum. Like, imagine you're like living your dream life, you got the best body ever in the world, and then you get into a car accident and you break three legs. You break your legs, right? So now, like, you can't walk. Well, you're gonna lose muscle development there. It's gonna suffer your momentum. But it's how you choose to respond determines the rest of your life. So positive momentum is your ability to get great results from the daily action you take in the face of events you cannot control. But for some people, they really have a lot of negative momentum, and this was me. This was my ability to get poor results based on the daily actions I took. And sometimes I would even blame it on things I couldn't control. And this is what I call negative momentum. So no matter what action you take, it's building positive or negative momentum in your life. So for example, there was a season of my life where I had a lot of positive momentum. I woke up to an alarm that I decided, I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 4:30 a.m. Boom, I'm up, I'm pumped. I got my coffee, I'm drinking it, drink my glass of water. I go to the gym, I get a little workout in, boom. I checked everything off in my to-do list every single day. I fasted till 2 p.m. I ate relatively clean. I love snacks still, but I'd work out, right? I'd plan today, and every single day I felt like, you know what? Today I got 1% better. Then a series of events happened to me. I watched my grandmother leave this world with my own eyes. I had business partners who decided to not work with me anymore. I had staff who just really could care less about what was going on and weren't really passionate about what we were doing. And at the end of the day, I really had no clarity on what to do next. So one day I decided it was a great idea. I was like, I'm gonna take a break. And I'll reset and I'll come back stronger. That was a big mistake. That was the first big mistake I made. Because my little break turned into 2 years of earning $0 per month. And I neglected every relationship I built over 4 years in business. Now, I'm not some kind of stud or anything like that. I wasn't like making hundreds of thousands a month and I was living off the money I'd made. My grandparents left me an inheritance. Of that, I had about $80,000 left, maybe even $85,000. So when I wasn't working, I was using that money to survive. And I also got addicted to like these like pay to play video games where you pay real money for things in the game. I spent like 10 grand on that. It was crazy. Like, I was literally going downhill. I burned through everything. And it's because I decided when I was going to take a break, I just started letting these demons into my life. And I just got way out of control. I'd basically wake up with no plan. I'd drink 2 coffees to feel energized for the day. And I'd say to myself, I'm going to get this done today. And then I felt all good from the coffee. And then I was like, I'll just play one game, one 20-minute match, and that's it. Which turned into me playing video games for 12 hours. Like, I'm an addict, like straight up. And along the way, I'd smoke some weed to numb the pain of daily failure. Literally, I would have the thought, wow, I should get this shit done. And then I'd be like, and I'm like, maybe just one more, man. Maybe just fucking one more. And it just ruined me. It ruined me. I don't blame anything else. I don't blame the drugs. I don't blame the coffee. I don't blame nothing, right? Drugs, weed. I blame the daily actions I took. And in the time span, I changed so dramatically that my girlfriend of 5 years started a full-on side relationship. She straight up cheated on me for like a month or 2 maybe, until I found out. So I found myself moving back with my parents at age 28 with literally negative $13,000 in credit card debt. And I just built up so much momentum though, so much momentum. It was just against my goals. And seemingly basic things ended up like, like my to-do list just felt like it was a daunting task. Like I just couldn't get it done. And the main reason is because I trained my brain to seek quick hits of dopamine, and that was everything to me. That was my entire day. So I was not building self-worth long term. I was just cashing in on just quick dopamine hits. So I made my brain just crave these moments. And if you don't know what dopamine is, it's kind of like a cheerleading squad. They're like cheering for you in your head whenever you do a certain action, and it feels good. You're like, yeah, this could feel like playing a video game when you first start up, especially if you like killed something in the game, killed someone, you won the match, that kind of thing. Some gamblers get like really addicted to that. Or for most people, dopamine comes when they scroll social media. When you're scrolling, you find something funny you like, or something you watch all the way through, and you're like, wow, that was a good video. Triggered your dopamine. Felt good to see that video, didn't it? So what I found is that when I filled my life with this easy dopamine, I always craved it. And it would just cause me to just like, like sit there and then like reach for my phone and then, reach for my phone again and just keep doing that kind of shit. And it wasn't serving my goals. I had no attention span anymore. I had no focus. I had nothing. And dopamine also gets triggered though when you have long-term goals, these big goals, and you start making progress towards them. Dopamine will trigger then. It's just, it triggers a little different. It's not as like big bursty, right? So if you have these quick hits of dopamine, you always go for those quick hits if they're in your life, like playing video games. That's why I could not work on my goals, because I just got more dopamine from playing video games, so I just kept doing that. And then I would drink coffee, smoke weed, which would increase my dopamine further, and I just keep doing that. It was crazy. So I destroyed basically years of progress. And not only my progress, I destroyed my grandparents' inheritance. Years, like decades that they have built their financial portfolio to leave it to me, and I just felt like I just basically lit it on fire for no reason. And honestly, I hated who I saw in myself in the mirror. I hated how I looked physically, and mentally I was a rattle case. Like I was just fucked, right? So I felt like when I looked at myself in the mirror though, physically, it was like a constant reminder of my daily failure. Like, wow, I felt like I could have been muscular and I just decided not to be. Oh, like, it's just like, I'm just not doing what I said I was wanting to do. I always wanted to work out, be fit, look great, right? And I just wasn't doing that anymore. So once I started picking up those sticks, right, back to my parents' place, now that I live there, I'm picking up those sticks, I'm putting them in a pile, so I'm feeling good. So once I built enough momentum doing that, and I was like, okay, I'm ready for something. I'm ready for the next thing. I want to attack the person I saw in the mirror. I set the goal to go to the gym 5 days a week. Now, that sounds like a lot, right? But hear me out. What I did was, it wasn't that I needed to do some crazy workout 5 days a week. What I did was, I picked one muscle per day. And I just said, let me just work that out. I don't care if it's for, one set of 10. I don't care if it's just, I get a little pump on it and then I leave. I just need to work out this one muscle every day. If I don't go to the gym, fine. But guess what? If it's chest day, I'm doing push-ups. Like I need to do body weight. I need to stimulate that muscle every single day. So Monday for me was chest. Tuesday, shoulders. Wednesday was legs. Thursday was back. Friday was arms. Those are pretty vague, right? So for me to win, I just need to go in, do some pull-ups on back day, and I could leave if I wanted to. So that was my daily action I set for myself. And sometimes I would just do like 20 minutes and then leave. I just wasn't feeling it. I had a stomach ache, whatever it was. But I always made sure I did it. That was the most important thing because I told myself I would. And it actually became fun because now I'm like, okay, well, if I did like one set, of an exercise or I got a pump on my muscles, for example, if I do anything extra, that's like bonus. It's like bonus points. And I used to be a big World of Warcraft guy. It's like if you're in an RPG game and you're just rolling around and you're like, oh, I could fight that boss now, but I could just keep doing these side quests, level up, get more armor, get stronger, and just clap that boss. And I always play games like that. Like always. I always play games like that because I don't want to lose. So I just viewed it like that. I was like, shit, well, I did chest today. What if I just worked out my wrists? What if I did some abs? Oh, that's a bonus. I really like that shit. I started viewing life like a video game when I did that. And because of the small wins I needed to make, I started building a lot of gym consistency, and I started just leveling up. And I leveled up in the way of I could do more exercises per body part. I started doing some more cardio. I started focusing on eating better and getting more protein in. Then I started like tracking macros and being like, oh, like I've never done this in my life, literally never. And I was like, I'll just do this because it helps me hit my goal. I can actually lean out a little bit more if I control how much I eat. And it all just started with that small goal of just going 5 days a week, just hitting that one thing. I want to leave you something here because this is something I want to pass on to my kids, which is if you want to build positive momentum in your life, this is the way that I did it, okay? These are the four small changes I made that made the biggest difference for me. The first was I just did little things, right? I picked up the sticks. And I like doing things around lifting weights. So I strengthen my muscles and my bones. I walk because I'm strengthening my heart and I can eat more. I love that when I do some cardio. I started making habits about learning so that I always felt like I was progressing mentally and physically. And then I started really focusing on, okay, well, how could I earn more and what are better opportunities for me to get involved in? And those are basically the four things I set daily actions and habits around. And I just do one at a time. I didn't like throw a bunch of habits at once. I just did one at a time and add them slowly. And that gave me momentum. Now, to make sure I played this game, I gamified it, right? So I thought of myself as like a video character in a game. And as I accumulate all these daily actions, I'm getting stronger. I'm leveling up. And as I grow through life, I'm actually improving. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more fit, more money, all that stuff. And the third tip here is that I use tools to track my process. So now I have this Notion table. I'll put it on the screen here. I've got this Notion table where every time I click off when I did something specific and it's small, I actually see that I'm leveling up. And as I add more daily actions, I can actually get to a higher level. Like actually, as in my graph, I'll show you the graph below. And then the fourth tip was that I started hanging around people who only had positive momentum and accountability in their lives. Because I really didn't want other people's like opinions or lifestyles or rationales or stories they made up in their mind of why they couldn't do something or why something was to blame. I just really separated myself from anyone who did that because I just truly don't believe in that. I think it's kind of bullshit and it doesn't serve you. So why would I entertain that with other people I hang around? So I removed myself from those types of people, those types of situations. And the last tip was the most important for me, which was never lie to yourself. You got to live with integrity. Obviously, you don't want to lie to other people. You don't want to drop the ball with other people. That's your reputation. But the way that you talk to yourself is very important. If you say to yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, it's the worst demon to invite in the entirety of demons that you can invite into your life. Super hard to crack. So I'm not where I want to be yet. Like I'm not some kind of, beaming hope of pure personal development or something. But I was literally like broke, negative $13,000 in credit card debt. Chonky, right? I just never felt muscular. I felt like I was just chubby all around. I had like big muffin top. I was super self-conscious about it. And I was alone. I had family and some friends and stuff that I leaned on, but like I just got cheated on after 5 years. And to make matters worse, the whole relationship, it wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. It wasn't like my dream relationship, right? So, and I didn't know how to deal with that. And now I am now making more money than ever per month, and I have full control of my body, and I can do exactly what I want to do with it. I can tweak and adjust and change it however I like. And this is the best I've ever lived. And best of all, I'm doing it with the girl I was best friends with for 14, 15 years. I broke out of the friend zone. I destroyed that. We're engaged now. I mean, that's insane. Incredible, like 360 in my life. So if you do need help keeping accountable to your daily actions and you want a tribe of like-minded people, then, and again, you're determined to be rich, fit, and in love, we are starting basically a group we can apply to join our Inspired Ideas community. It's called Octus, and it's in the link in the description. That's what we're all about. We're a community of people who hold each other accountable. We have group principles that we stick to rigidly. And if you don't follow basically the rules and you don't stay accountable, you get kicked out because we're not here to, you know, make excuses. We are a group of people who we want to have a strong network. We want to have a strong influence of other people who think just like us and get shit done. And it doesn't mean you have to be already rich, fit, and in love or anything like that. It's just that you're striving to do it and you're taking daily actions to do it. That's the whole purpose of Octus. Octus is Latin for the act of progressing. So, yeah. Hope to see you in the next video. Check out some of our other ones on our channel about confidence, and see you soon.